everyone. We shall be starting shortly, so please prepare. In the meantime, I'll be playing a video about China Invest of Petroleum, so please enjoy. Let's watch the last video, and at exactly 4 p.m. we shall be starting officially starting our presentation. Yeah, so please prepare as we wait for other people. Please prepare. We shall begin at exactly 4 p.m.
Beijing, a world-famous ancient city of civilization, the political, economic, and cultural center of the People's Republic of China, one of the core cities along the Belt and Road Economic Belt. For thousands of years, she has shown the brilliance of Chinese civilization with her welcoming atmosphere and broad tolerance. China University of Petroleum, Beijing is located in this great city. China University of Petroleum Beijing is one of the national key universities directly under the Ministry of Education. Research and courses offered have strong oil and energy characteristics. The university has a strong commitment in coordinated development by many related disciplines in the industry, and it has come to be known as the cradle of petroleum talents. The university values scientific research as a way to strengthen its academic strength and influence, and constantly improves the ability of scientific and technological innovation at comprehensive scientific research levels. China University of Petroleum Beijing has 2 state key laboratories, 6 state-level research and innovation platform branches, 20 provincial and ministerial research and innovation platforms, and 18 key laboratory branches of CMPC. CUPB has numerous advantages in the field of petroleum and petrochemical research in a number of areas, making CUPB a leader in China. Besides oil and gas, CUPB is now extending its research and education in the unconventional oil and gas, new energy and other rapidly developing emerging research areas. CUPB has 4 disciplines that enter the top 1 by the ESI assessment in August 2015. They are chemistry, engineering, material science and geosciences. With the continuous promotion and development of the Belt and Road Initiative, international cooperation has been further developed. Chinese and foreign oil companies have increased the demand for talented professionals with an international perspective. China University of Petroleum Beijing, as the most influential petroleum and energy-related studies university in China, has taken on this mission bravely, made great effort to implement the 2-step strategic plan of drawing a framework of training international petroleum talents training in this new era, and fulfilling the talents set out in the framework. A new campus has been built in Karamay, the largest oil city in western China, to strengthen technical cooperation with all energy-producing countries in Central Asia and jointly build a bridge for technological and cultural exchanges with all the other countries along the belt. CUPB has sped up the promotion of international class projects and further strengthened the teaching of international students. After nearly 10 years of development, a total of 12 English-taught master's degree programs covering 11 disciplines have been set up. Professors from world-renowned universities and experts from foreign oil companies are invited to teach in order to bring students the most professional and cutting-edge knowledge and experience. CUPB has built an experimental and training basis with the 3 major oil companies in China. CUPB regularly organizes students to visit and research in the major oil fields and oil companies so that they can have a deeper understanding of the development of petroleum and petrochemical industry trade. With the further development and globalization, the international energy forms and patterns also continue to change. In the face of new challenges, CUPB strives to develop an internationalized vision to seek open innovation, inclusive and mutually beneficial development prospects, to promote and build different exchanges. CUPB set up the Worldwide Energy Universities Network with over 170 universities from USA, Japan, France, the United Kingdom, Canada, etc., and also established the Belt and Road Petroleum Engineers Institute in the same year. CUPB has on average organized 10 international academic conferences annually. In 2017, The school was selected for the One Belt, One Road Beijing Municipality International Student Scholarship Program. The Silk Road Chinese Government Scholarship Program was approved. It was selected as the first batch of Beijing Municipality One Belt, One Road National Talent Training-based project. Through implementation of internationalization strategies and the development of cutting-edge disciplines, such as international energy strategy analysis, the areas and scope of international exchanges and cooperation of universities have been continuously expanded, and the international influence has also been continuously expanded. CUPB is determined to bring together the resources and workforce necessary to lead the talent development for energy economies and achieve the goal of contributing to global development and the petroleum and petrochemical fields of the world's leading research-oriented universities.
Thank you very much for being here. That was the end of the video. Now we shall officially begin our live broadcast for today. So I urge you, if you're a new student, please get a pen and paper and you can record this. Yeah. So I'll go to my presentation. So in my presentation, I'll share 3 parts. I'll share 3 parts in my presentation. So we shall begin with the presentation. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Andrew. I work at the admissions office of China University of Petroleum, Beijing, and I'm very glad that you have joined us today for our presentation. I'll be taking you through the introduction of our university. I'll give you a brief introduction of our programs and some scholarship information and how you can apply to our university. Yeah, so part 3 will be activities of some of the activities some of our students do while at university, not necessarily academic, but yeah, all other activities we do. All our other activities that we do apart from let's say academics. So then I'll talk about the job opportunities and career opportunities in our university. So so let's start. Yeah. As I said, part 1 is about our university. I will tell you our location, campus, and different rankings. To begin with, China University of Petroleum, Beijing is located in Beijing City, as our name says. Most of you are familiar with the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. So our university is located in between those two. So the distance from the Great Wall to our university is almost the same as that from our university to downtown Beijing, which is the Forbidden City. As you can see, this is the Great Wall and this is Forbidden City. Those are famous landmarks in Beijing, and if you come to our university, you'll get to visit some of those landmarks. Then moving on to our history, CUPB was founded in 1953. So since our founding, we were the first petroleum university in China, and we have over 16,000 students. Our staff average over 1,400, and we partner with over 170 partners around the world. This includes oil companies, universities, and yeah. So we have partnerships between very many foreign institutions and organizations. Moving on to the rankings of CUPB. This is the 2020 US World Ranking. This is the latest ranking. It came out in about November last year. Most of our subjects ranked very well in the world. As you can see, chemical engineering was ranked the 12th in the whole world. So by ranking of subject rankings, chemical engineering ranked the 12th. Then in energy and fuel studies, we ranked 18th. Engineering 59. So this is world over. And when we go to emerging economies, we rank number 32. We rank number 108, and we are number 32 when you do university rankings in China. So this gives you an understanding of China University of Petroleum and the way education and research is done. So we do very good education and research, and we get serious, very good rankings world over, as you can see. So these are the latest rankings. Moving on to some parts of our university. I know if you want to come to our university, you might be interested in knowing how the university looks like. So this is part of our university near the Foreign Students Building. So if you come to our university, you'll spend some time here in the Foreign Students Building. This is the main building, and as you can see, these are our library pictures and other parts of the campus. So our campus is very beautiful, and you'll enjoy time on campus. So these are some of the photos of our campus. Moving on to inside our living facilities. This is a room of a student. Usually students, you can choose to live in a single room, or you can choose to live with someone else. But the most people that can live in a room in our university are two. So we have single rooms and double rooms. And then in the foreign students buildings, there are kitchens. And if you're a fan of making your own food, of course you have facilities where to prepare your own food. But this doesn't mean that we don't have adequate cafeteria and restaurants on the school. We have a lot of them on the school. So you can choose between Western style of food, Chinese food. Then we have halal restaurants. So we have a lot. It's the choice is upon you. This gym facilities, reading rooms, and coffee shops. So when you come to our university, you'll have everything you want on campus, and even around. Champing is it's a very nice place with all facilities you can need while studying. Yeah. So that ends my part one. Moving on to part two, I'll do the program introduction. I know most of you are very interested in this, so I'll introduce some of the programs at our school, and then scholarships. Yeah, I'll also do how to apply for scholarships, and which scholarships are maybe if you're bachelor's, which scholarships you can apply for. If you're applying for master's, which scholarships you can apply for. So before applying for a scholarship, you should know that this scholarship, I'm eligible for this scholarship or not. Yeah. So beginning with bachelor's studies, I'll first begin with the most recommended courses. As you all saw in the university rankings, our petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, then resource exploration engineering ranked very, very well world over. So I would recommend you to study these the first choice of study should be these three. So these are offered in both English and Chinese. So if your Chinese is good, you can choose to study it in Chinese. Or if you want to study it in Chinese and you haven't yet passed Chinese to the proficiency levels required, you can study in our university. But if your English is good and you've studied in English before, you can choose to study petroleum engineering, chemical engineering and techniques, then resource exploration in English. Yeah, so the rest of the courses are offered in Chinese, and if you would ask me what I would recommend to you to study in the rest of the courses apart from those three, financial management, accounting, finance, energy economy, then marketing, then information management and information system. So as I'll explain later in my presentation, all of these courses are related. So since we are petroleum focused, it doesn't mean that we don't do business and management. As you will see, all of these courses are required in the industry. I'll explain this later. This is to reiterate why these courses are good. In the 2017 Center of World University Rankings, our petroleum engineering course ranked #1. So you can see chemical engineering, petroleum engineering, then exploration, resources engineering, all of those are good courses. So these are some of the top courses I would recommend for you if you're coming to study bachelor's in our university, in addition to the financial management and accounting. So if you want to take the business side of studies or the management side of studies, all of these courses are also good at bachelor's level. So some of you, I know maybe bachelor students, I've been talking about resource exploration engineering. So some of you don't know what is resource exploration engineering, what is petroleum engineering, what is chemical engineering. So I'll try to briefly explain what these courses entail and what they're about. So first of all, resource exploration engineering. These are people who study the earth and they study what minerals are in the earth. Basically, as the name says, they look for resources in the earth. So they can go to a certain area and maybe they see presence of fossils in the areas. Most of you know all of this. So when they come and maybe they see fossils in this area, they will know there is a high presence, maybe we shall find oil. Or they see they say we might find diamonds in this place, we might find gold in this place. So these are the people who go and look for resources according to maybe the formations, according to how the rocks look. So they study the earth. And they know which resources are contained in a certain place. They will know that there is oil here, there are diamonds here, there is gold here. And these are the people who will tell the rest of the engineers that maybe look for oil here. So these are some of the most important people in, let's say, petroleum or gold mining or diamond mining. They are the most important people. They are the ones who tell us where resources are. Yeah. So moving on, so that is resource exploration engineering. They look for resources in the earth. Moving on to, okay, this is a photo of some of our students on a field trip. So as you can see, if you're studying resource exploration engineering, you must go to the field. Even petroleum engineering, you must go to the field and really look and know that these are the places where we can find resources. So our students go on field trips. Moving on to petroleum engineering. So this is actually what I studied. And petroleum engineering, so after the resource exploration engineers tell us maybe there is oil in this place. So they tell you there is oil in this place, how much oil is there. Oh, yeah. Then petroleum engineers, their work is, how do we get this oil out of the earth? Let's say we have a lot of oil here. Who will tell you which method to use to get this oil out of the earth? Maybe drill, where are we going to drill wells? This is the work of petroleum engineers. So basically, you know where to drill wells, then how are we going to get the oil out? Because you might have several methods of extracting oil, but you must know which method is economical. So this is the work of petroleum engineers. They will know which method is suitable and where to drill wells. Maybe in this area we found oil, but where exactly should we drill wells? You should know that in an industry like petroleum engineering, drilling a well can be about $2 million. So you don't want to drill where you won't find oil. Maybe there is oil in this in this layer. But for you, you drill and let's say you drill here and you drill in the water zone. So you won't get oil and you might be fired. So the work of petroleum engineers is to know the most efficient methods of extracting oil from the earth. Yeah. So moving on, I told you all of these courses are related. Moving on to, let's say, from after the petroleum engineers extract this oil from the earth, we need to transport this oil. So we have courses like oil and gas storage and transportation. So these ones deal with transportation of oil after extracting it. We have those studying chemical engineering. They'll be the ones at the refinery to help us convert maybe this crude oil into gasoline, into diesel, into petrol, so that we can put it in our cars. We can't put crude oil in our cars. Yeah, you can't even put crude oil in a plane, maybe to fly. So you need chemical engineers to help process this crude oil and turn it into a finished product. So this is the work of chemical engineers. Then you'll have oil and gas storage and transportation. I've told you about that. They will also still transport it from the refinery to the market. And when you reach the market, which people are going to sell your oil? Because you might produce, but you have no customers. That's where you need people in marketing. That's where you need people in doing finance, because they will calculate for you and say this business you're doing is worth it or you're making losses. You need people in management. So all of these courses are related. You can't have an oil company with only petroleum engineers. You can't have an oil company with only resource exploration engineers. So all of these courses are required for smooth running of this industry. So that's why our university has all of these courses, and all of them teach you something in the oil industry. Yeah. Moving on to the undergraduate program, here I'll tell you mainly what you need to apply to our university at undergraduate level. So basically what you'll need a high school diploma. You'll need to have graduated high school to apply at bachelor's level. And we need an average of about 70%. So when you convert your marks, you should have an average of about 70%. Then if you're studying in Chinese, you'll need HSK4. That is the Chinese proficiency test. It is HSK. Then you'll need level 4 and 222 marks. If you're choosing to study the English taught program, you'll need to study IELTS or TOEFL and take the exam. And you'll have, for IELTS, you'll have to have 6, at least 6. Then TOEFL, you'll need to have 75 points. Yeah, but if you studied, maybe you studied your high school in English, you need to just go to your school, and your former school writes to you a letter. Maybe the letter should contain that you studied in English for more than 2 years. So that can be used if you haven't taken the IELTS or TOEFL exam. Yeah. Then these for the degree certificates and transcripts, you have to notarize them. You'll need a copy of your passport. You'll need a simple study plan. So why are you choosing to study the course you've chosen to apply for in our university? Why do you want to study the course? Tell us about that. And what are your plans after you study that course? We need to know. Then you need a physical examination report and a no criminal record certificate. Yeah, basically those are the requirements for the undergraduate program. And yeah, that's what you need. Then you go to our website to apply. The website of application is admission.cup.edu.cn. It will be at the end of this slide, but you can note it down just in case. So, application timeline. So, when should you start applying, and when will you get results? So this is simple timeline I will give you. So if you're applying, usually we encourage students to begin in October to start applying, because you need time to prepare your application. If you wait till the end of the application season to submit your application, you'll realize maybe you don't have a certain document and you need time to make it. So we really suggest you begin very early to prepare for your application. We opened the system in October, and currently it is open since it's already January, and we encourage you to apply now. So applications will run until May, and during this time we shall be reviewing applications that come in, but they'll run until May. So around May 30th, applications will begin closing. So May 30th we shall close applications for postgraduate students. Then June 15th we close applications for bachelor students, and June 30th we close application for language students. So you need to make sure you plan your time very well, otherwise at the end your application will not be complete and you'll have no one to blame. So we usually organize online interviews for bachelor's and postgraduate students. That's bachelor's, master's, and PhD students in June, and we give out the result of admission in July. Then after giving out results, we post the admission letters, visa application forms, and you'll join school in September. But of course, as we know, these are COVID times. The time you come to see UPB physically might differ from this timeline, but the application timeline will not change. It's only time for reporting that might change, but application timeline is as shown here, and it is normal application. So moving on to scholarships for bachelor students, we have government scholarships and university scholarship. So for government scholarship, we have China government scholarship, which is CSC, the type A and B. These are China government scholarships. Type A is bilateral program. So this one, you apply for it in your country of residence. Let's say you're from Ukraine, you apply from Ukraine. You're from, let's say, Kenya, you apply from Kenya. From Indonesia, you apply from Indonesia. And this is a reminder to all of you, most countries are currently applying for this type of scholarship. So this type of scholarship is open, and in most countries it is closing at the beginning of Feb. So I advise all of you who want to join CUPB to apply for this type of scholarship, because they don't limit majors. If you apply for this type of scholarship, you stand at a high chance to get the scholarship. Most countries have maybe 50 or 100 slots for this scholarship. So this is the best kind of scholarship you can apply for. And applying for this scholarship doesn't mean that you can't apply for any other scholarship. So first of all, as a smart student, what you need to do is first cover the bases. Apply for type A, so that in case you don't get the university scholarship, you have something to fall back on. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to say. So I advise everyone to apply for type A because it is currently open. All countries around the world, their type A applications are currently open. So apply for it as soon as possible before the deadline. So visit the Chinese embassy website in your country to get more information about this scholarship. Moving on to type B, at bachelor's level, we have what we call the Silk Road University Program. This is for countries in the Silk Road. So the Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Indonesia, all of those countries that belong to the Silk Road Initiative can apply for this scholarship. But as you can see, type B it is limited to only these majors. So if you're not applying for these majors, you can't apply for it. That's why I recommended everyone who wants to apply to first start by applying type A in your country at the Chinese embassy. Then other scholarships, we have the university scholarship, which we call the China University of Petroleum Beijing Scholarship. It supports all majors, and but this is very competitive and very few people get it every year. So begin with the government scholarships. Then Beijing government scholarship. Yeah. So for information about all of these scholarships, please visit our website. Our website has detailed information on all these scholarships. So visit our website and get to know what this scholarship covers before you apply. Don't just go to the application system and just begin selecting things you don't know. So just make sure you know the scholarship you're applying for before you apply for it. I'll talk about the language program. So our language program is mainly for students whose Chinese proficiency is not good. Maybe you don't know Chinese, but you want to study a Chinese taught program. So you can first study 1 year in our university to learn Chinese or improve your Chinese to get the required minimum, which is HSK 4, 222 at bachelor's level, then HSK 5, 180 at postgraduate level. So this program runs for 1 year, and after this program, you can enroll for bachelor's Chinese taught programs. Yeah. So I won't talk much about that, but I will tell you what you need to apply. You'll need notarized diploma and transcripts of your previous study. So if you're going to apply for bachelor's, but your Chinese proficiency is not good, you can give us a notarized high school certificate and transcript. If you're applying for postgraduate, let's say masters, you give us your notarized bachelor's degree certificate. Then a copy of your passport, a study plan. These are optional. Of course, for language, these are optional. A study plan is optional. So the things you must submit is number 1, number 2, and number 5, then a criminal record certificate. But a study plan at language level, that is optional. You can choose to give it or not. So that is mainly it for our language study. And right now I'll move on to our postgraduate study. So postgraduate study, we have masters and PhD. So masters and PhD study. These are some of the top programs in masters and PhD study. Mainly our postgraduate students study things like geophysics, geological resources and geological engineering, then petroleum geosciences, which includes geology, geological resources and geological engineering. Then we have also energy finance and energy system analysis. This one includes industrial economics, finance, management science and engineering. And these three are very good courses in our university. We have had many master's students study these and have gone to be very influential people in their countries. Then we have petroleum and natural gas engineering. As I said, this was the best in the world in 2017. So the petroleum engineering program is very good in our university. Then chemical engineering, which includes chemistry, then chemical engineering and technology. This is also, it was ranked 12th world over. So these are very good courses, and they are the top master's programs I would recommend. So all of these are offered in English. So if you're studying any of these, you can choose to study in English. Yeah, we have them in Chinese, but you can choose to study them in English if you want. we have the English programs for all of these that I've listed here. And then, as I said, the popular majors, popular master's programs over the years, the programs that students have chosen most in our university. We have geology, geological resources and geological engineering, petroleum and natural gas engineering, chemical engineering, geophysics, energy finance, and energy systems analysis. Yeah, so these are popular. You'll find many students studying these if you come to our university. So geological resources and geological engineering, mainly it's almost like exploration resources engineering. These are people who evaluate the resources. So we have found oil here. How much oil is here? What is the quality of the oil? That is what geological resources and geological engineering does. And they also things like this is an oil field. So how big is it? Then which kind of rocks are in this oil field? So that is what geological resources and geological engineering does. We have this is one of our students. He was presenting some of his work. So we have had students really publish high quality papers in this field, and it is one of the best fields in our university. Petroleum and natural gas engineering, as I said, we look for ways of producing resources most economically and most efficiently. Yeah. So this is a type of rig. It is an offshore rig. So if you study petroleum engineering, you can have a chance to work at an offshore rig. Then chemical engineering and technology. These are people who refine the crude oil. They also make for us. Maybe petroleum engineers need a certain chemical to help produce, so they make for us those chemicals. They analyze. So this is the chemical engineering building, and these are some of our students. They already graduated. I think they graduated about 3-4 years ago. Yeah, moving on to some of the resources we have for our postgraduate students. We have national key laboratories. So we have the National Key Laboratory on Heavy Oil Processing, then one of petroleum resources and prospecting. We also have very many other labs. So we have 2 national key laboratories, then we have labs established in collaboration with Ministry of Education, with oil companies like CNPC, Sinopec. Then we also have labs we established with other universities. For example, the one established with Harvard. This one, I believe, is in the College of Unconventional Research Institute. Yeah, so we have very many laboratories. If you're a postgraduate student, there are resources for you to do your research, and you'll receive the best education. You don't need to worry about resources. For scholarships for postgraduate students, that is Masters and PhD, we have the bilateral program or CSC Type A. As I explained, this is the best to apply for, and it is currently running. Look for the Chinese Embassy website in your country and apply for CSC Type A. And don't forget to choose China University of Petroleum Beijing as your first choice, otherwise we might not see your application. We have the University of Shanghai Cooperation Organization program. This is also a CSC scholarship, but it is a Type B. But this one is limited to our partner universities and limited to these majors. So industrial economics, management science and engineering, chemical engineering and technology. Yeah. Then we have the Silk Road University program. The Silk Road University program is so this one is like the bachelor's one, but at postgraduate level, it is limited to petroleum and natural gas engineering, geological resources and geological engineering, then geology. So what I'm trying to explain, these type B scholarships are always limited. So first apply for type A, then come and apply for type B. Be aware you can apply for both of them at once, so don't choose to leave out one of them. Then the Chinese university program for postgraduate, it is also limited to these courses. And recently we got another program called the China-Africa Friendship Scholarship. So this is limited to African students applying for these majors. Yeah. Then other scholarships include the CUPB scholarship and Beijing government scholarship. Yeah. So this is our application system, and we process only applications submitted in the application system. Don't send us an email with your transcripts and recommendation letters and everything and think we shall process your application. Go to our application system, which is admission.cup.edu.cn, and submit your application there. Then we shall review your application. So don't send us an email and after some weeks ask us, maybe, have I been admitted? No. Go to the application system and submit your application there. You'll find a lot of relevant information in the application system. Yeah. And then for postgraduate students, the requirements are a little bit more compared to bachelor students. And I'll tell you what you require. So in addition to what I said for bachelor students, which is notarized diploma and transcripts of your previous study. So at this level, it will be either bachelor's or master's transcripts, depending on what you're applying for. For master's, you need to provide your bachelor's certificate. For PhD, you need to provide your master's certificate. Yeah. And you must have an average of about 70%. So if your performance wasn't good enough, then you might face problems. Then you must be, if you're applying for masters, you must be 35 years and below. Applying for PhD, 45 years and below. Yeah. Then language requirements. For language requirements, Masters, Chinese taught program, you need HSK5, at least 180 marks. Then if you're applying for English taught program, you need IELTS, which is 6.5, or TOEFL, which is 80 marks. So those are the language requirements. Then, in addition to that, you'll need to provide 2 recommendation letters. These recommendation letters must be provided by assistant professors or professor or a senior person in your field. So if you're applying for petroleum and natural gas engineering, get a senior petroleum engineer to recommend you, or get your former professor or assistant professor to recommend you. Then you need a study and research plan. So at this level, it is not optional, it is a must. If you're applying for master's or PhD, you need research plan. This is a must at postgraduate level. You need physical examination report and all the reports they will give you in the hospital. Then an acceptance letter from the supervisor. So at master's level, an acceptance letter is optional. But at PhD level, an acceptance letter, it's a must. We shall not admit you if you don't have a supervisor at PhD level. Yeah. So then the process through which your application goes is you apply online. So when you apply online, we review. For us, we belong to College of International Education, and that's where our admissions office is. So we shall review your application. If your application meets the minimum requirements, these are the ones that I've been telling you. We send your application to the college where you'll study. Let's say you're studying petroleum and natural gas engineering, we send it to the College of Petroleum Engineering. you're studying geology, we send it to the College of Geosciences. So we send it there, and the college will review your application. So after it reviews your application, the college will decide we shall admit this person or we shall not admit this person. So when the college decides, they send feedback to us at the College of International Education. When they send feedback to us, or those who didn't apply for scholarships, we just send their admission letters and visa application forms. Those who applied for scholarships go through scholarship review. If you applied for CSC, we send your application to the China Scholarship Council, where they will review and say or not you'll be given a scholarship. If you applied for a university scholarship, the scholarship committee meets and sees how to award the scholarships and gives us the results. Then we send out the admission forms and visa application forms. Yeah, so that marks the end of our programs. I know it has been long, but that's the most important part if you're applying to our university. Next, I'm going to some of the activities we do in our university. So in our university, for academic activities, we have ISAIP, which is the International Students Academic Innovation Platform. And these ones usually organize academic events and they help people improve academically. So this is one of their meetings. It was after, I think, a lecture with this is the meeting with some other Chinese students from AAPG. So if you come to our university, you'll get to know societies like AAPG, SPE, which is Society of Petroleum Engineers. So this was one of their meetings. So ISIP helps people improve academically. They organize workshops, seminars, conferences. So when you come, you'll get a chance to join some of these associations. And this was a MATLAB workshop. This is one of our students. He's called David. He organized a MATLAB workshop in conjunction with ISIP. And these were the students attending. So they help students improve academically. MATLAB is a software you use in engineering. So if you're doing engineering, you'll encounter this software. Then this one was a presentation of his work. This is also a student. He's currently doing a PhD in our school. So when you come, you'll participate in some of these things. Out of academics, we have a culture festival, we have sports competitions, wushu competitions. So there is a lot even outside academics that our students do. So this was in the wushu competitions in Beijing. So inter-university competitions. This was culture festival. These two. So at culture festival, students exhibit a lot of different things from their university, from their countries. Sorry, yeah. Then moving on, this is also important. So if you're studying, the end goal is to get employed. The end goal is to get a career. So if you study at CUPB, where do most of our students go? Where do they get employed? So most of our students usually go to these oil companies and energy companies around the world. So these are some of our partner energy companies. We have had students sponsored by these companies. We have had students employed by these companies. So these are some of the partner universities, partner energy companies like Petronas. I'm sure some of you know BP, Shell, then Saudi Aramco, CNPC, Total, Sinok, Sinopec. Then we have Newfield, we have Sinochem, we have Statoil. So these are some of the companies where you can work after studying at our university. So there is a lot of opportunities out there. And if you're choosing China University of Petroleum, just know that you're choosing the best in the energy industry, be it in engineering, management, or economics. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening to me. I've come to the end of my presentation. I know it was long, but I hope it was worth it. So these are some of our contacts. You can scan any of these if you're a fan of scanning, and you can also contact us at this email, admission@cup.edu.cn. We are always happy to reply to any query you have. We are there to help you through your whole application process. So whatever problem you get, please talk to us and we shall help you solve. Yeah, we are very happy to help students solve their application problems as they are applying. So thank you very much for attending today's online, I can say lecture, but it's not a lecture, it is a presentation about our university. Thank you very much. And once again, my name is Andrew. I work at China University of Petroleum Engineering, and I wish everyone a very good day. Thank you. So if you have any questions, I hope you sent them in the chat box and they were answered. This is the end of our presentation. I'll put the video once again. If you still have questions, please ask them. Thank you very much.
Beijing, a world-famous ancient city of civilization, the political, economic, and cultural center of the People's Republic of China, one of the core cities along the Belt and Road Economic Belt. For thousands of years, she has shown the brilliance of Chinese civilization with her welcoming atmosphere and broad tolerance. China University of Petroleum, Beijing is located in this great city. China University of Petroleum Beijing is one of the national key universities directly under the Ministry of Education. Research and courses offered have strong oil and energy characteristics. The university has a strong commitment in coordinated development by many related disciplines in the industry, and it has come to be known as the cradle of petroleum talent. The university values scientific research as a way to strengthen its academic strength and influence, and constantly improves the ability of scientific and technological innovation at comprehensive scientific research levels. China University of Petroleum Beijing has 2 state key laboratories, 6 state-level research and innovation platform branches, 20 provincial and ministerial research and innovation platforms, and 18 key laboratory branches of CMPC. CUPB has numerous advantages in the field of petroleum and petrochemical research, a number of areas making CUPB a leader in China. Besides oil and gas, CUPB is now extending its research and education in the unconventional oil and gas, new energy, and other rapidly developing emerging research areas. CUPB has 4 disciplines that entered the top 1 by the ESI assessment in August 2015. They are chemistry, engineering, material science, and geosciences. With the continuous promotion and development of the Belt and Road Initiative, international cooperation has been further developed. Chinese and foreign oil companies have increased the demand for talented professionals with an international perspective. China University of Petroleum Beijing, as the most influential petroleum and energy-related studies university in China, has taken on this mission bravely, made great effort to implement the two-step strategic plan of drawing a framework of training international petroleum talents training in this new era, and fulfilling the talents set out in the framework. A new campus has been built in Karamay, the largest oil city in western China, to strengthen technical cooperation with all energy-producing countries in Central Asia and jointly build a bridge for technological and cultural exchanges with all the other countries along the belt. CUPB has sped up the promotion of international class projects and further strengthened the teaching of international students. After nearly 10 years of development, a total of 12 English taught master's degree programs covering 11 disciplines have been set up. Professors from world-renowned universities and experts from foreign oil companies are invited to teach in order to bring students the most professional and cutting-edge knowledge and experience. CUPB has built an experimental and training basis with the three major oil companies in China. CUPB regularly organizes students to visit and research in the major oil fields and oil companies so that they can have a deeper understanding of the development of petroleum and petrochemical industry trade. With the further development
Okay, so I think I'll answer some questions. I've seen some questions being asked. Yeah, so someone asked whether there is a scholarship for Chinese language students. Usually the scholarships we have at this level, you apply them through Confucius Institute in your country. So if you're interested in studying Chinese language, usually the applications are through Confucius Institutes in your country. We had one for online language program, so the study is online, but I'm not so sure whether it ended. I think the application timeline ended, but you can send us an email at admission@cup.edu.cn, and we shall give you accurate information about that. Then someone asked, do I need HSK certificates if I want to enroll? Yes, you need HSK certificates. No, for the language program, you don't need HSK certificate because you're coming to study language. So you don't need an HSK certificate to come and study language. Yeah. Then interviews are normally held in June. So we send an email for when interviews are normally held. Then some have been asked to do part of the presentation in Chinese, so I'll give a brief overview in Chinese. So 我现在要用中文讲一遍，我不会讲所有的东西，但也会快速的过一遍，所以如果能听懂中文，就我给你讲一遍。首先我们是中国石油大学北京，我们在中国首都北京昌平区。对，我的演讲就这4个部分。首先我要介绍一下我们中国石油大学北京，第二个就是介绍一下中国石油大学北京有什么专业，然后一些活动，我们学上的活动，最后跟你们说一下就业的情况。 第一个就是我们大学位于首都北京，就是在市区就故宫和长城中间。中国石油大学成立于1953年，有也是中国第一个石油大学。然后我们中国石油大学北京有1.6万学生。就这个大学排名，我们全球排名这个化学工程专业排12，然后在能源学科里边我们排18。在中国石油大学排32，然后在发展经济国家中排108。这个是中国石油大学一些地方和建筑。这里是石油大学的留学生公寓和公寓旁边的一个公园。然后这个是我们酒楼，这个是图书馆，然后一些石油大学的建筑。一些测试我们就这个是留学生公寓，然后留学生公寓里边每一层有厨房，所以如果你喜欢做自己的饭，可以在那儿做饭。也有健身房，有一些咖啡厅，然后自习室之类的测试。在本科阶段，我们有石油工程专业，我们有化学工程，有技术，也有资源勘察工程。我推荐你们选择这些专业，因为这些专业是我们本科还有石油大学里边最好的专业。然后也可以选择会计学、财务经济，然后能源经济、市场营销之类的专业，还有一个信息管理，有信息科学。然后这个是石油工程专业，在全球2017年在全球排名第一，这个是 Center for World University Rankings 排的。石油大学，中国石油大学北京排第一。资源勘察这个，然后咱们学生就去野外实习。石油工程专业，还有这些专业都是相关的。我们在一个石油企业里边，应该有石油工程师、资源勘察工程师，有化学工程师，也有市场营销管理类的、储运类的。所有专业人员都是需要的，不能只有一个专业的人，因为不同专业的人做不同的事情。在申请本科阶段，需要你最高学历的那些毕业证还有成绩单。如果申请中文授课，你需要 HSK4 222分的成绩。如果申请英文授课，需要雅思6.0或者托福75。然后其他材料需要你的护照，一个学习计划，还有体检表。申请流程就是申请时间阶段就我们一般10月份开始开放申请，然后你10月份可以开始申请，5到6月份截止申请。所以在10月份，然后此年的5月份开始申请。这时间里我们 建议你提前开始申请，不要等到最后一个星期才开始申请。所以建议你在刚开放申请的时候开始申请，因为截止时间也不是那么远的。然后一般6月份组织面试，然后7月份公布结果，8月份发那些邮寄录取通知书，还有签奖申请表，一般9月份入学。奖学金里边有政府类奖学金，还有学校类。政府类有Type A 就是通过你自己国家中国使馆申请，然后 Type B 就通过学校直接申请。那希望大家都申请 Type A， 因为这个很容易申请到，也很多国家也有很多名额，也可以申请。然后学校类奖学金，这个很难，真的很难申请到，因为很多人1000多人申请这些奖学金，所以希望你通过你自己国家先申请CSC 那个国别奖。这个是咱们的申请网站。如果想申请可以登录这个网站然后申请。我们也有汉语班，就是语言班。语言班的要求需要的材料就是你最高学历，还有你的护照，然后最好可以提供那个学习计划，但也不强制要求。最后需要你的体检表。然后研究生，我们在硕士阶段这些专业都可以英文授课，也可以中文授课，所以我们推荐你申请这些专业，有地质类专业，然后化学类，石油工程类，还有经济和管理类专业，这些都可以英文授课，也可以中文授课。然后最近很多学生学习的专业包括地质学，然后地质资源与地质工程，然后石油工程，然后也有化学工程与技术、地球物理，也有管理科学与工程、会计学，还有会计学。对，这个是地质资源与地质工程，这个石油工程有这个化学工程与技术。对，在研究生阶段，我们有很多实验室，这个是国家级实验室。这些我们有2个国家级实验室，也有一些实验室有中国教育部建的，还有一些有其他国家很多有名的大学，有哈佛跟我们学校建的实验室，也有我们学校还有很多石油类企业建的实验室，比如说这个中国石油、中国石化，然后中海油都有很多在我们学校建的实验室。在研究生阶段，奖学金也包括政府类的国别奖，政府类的我们 Type B 就是通过学校申请的这些奖学金，然后学校奖学金还有市奖学金，北京市奖学金。这个是我们申请网站，这个就是这样。我们所有申请都要通过申请网站做的，别发邮件让我们审你的材料，你直接通过我们申请网站 admission.cup.edu.cn 申请，我们会及时处理你的申请。 在研究生阶段需要的材料包括最高学历毕业证和成绩单，然后护照，呃，有也要推荐信，两方推荐信，应该是教授或副教授级别类人员给的，也可以是高级工程师之类，就是你在你的领域有那个高级职称的人，比如说高级工程师也可以推荐。然后是要学习计划或者研究计划，这个在硕士和博士阶段都是必须的。然后语言要求，你英文授课需要雅思6.5，或者 TOEFL 80，然后中文授课需要 HSK 5级，至少180分，然后需要体检表，还有导师接收函。硕士期间导师接收函不是必须的，然后博士期间导师接收函是必要材料，你没有导师，我们不会录取你。所以你申请博士，如果申请博士，你要提前联系导师，你联系导师之后，他给你导师接收函再申请，对。这些是我们中国石油大学一些学生的活动，我们有留学生创新团队，这个是一个 workshop 后的照片，他们一般组织 workshop，组织会议或者叫 conferences，也组织一些讲座。这个是 MATLAB，他们组织一个 MATLAB 的讲座，就这个是我们学生教会这些其他学生怎么用 MATLAB，这个是工程软件，然后他们也会经常汇报自己研究的内容，研究的一些东西。我们也有课外活动，比如说一个文化节，然后武术比赛、田径比赛，很多比赛，我们学生都有。对，然后我们学校有很多合作伙伴，也有很多企业，一般有这些企业会资助一些学生来我们学校上学，也会招聘一些学生，这些包括这个中石油、中石化、马石油，还有道达尔，还有西伦贝谢这些服务公司之类的。我们有很多，所以来了之后你会接触很多石油企业。最后这些是我们联系方式，如果有任何问题，可以通过这些联系方式联系我们。首先就可以通过 admission@cup.edu.cn，这个是我们招商办公室的邮件，然后这个二维码是招商系统的二维码，然后这个二维码为我们的学院网站，学院网站是 overseas.cup.edu.cn，然后有微信的话可以关注我们的公众号，会定时发布一些关于招商、关于我们学校的一些信息。所以如果有微信的话，你可以关注咱们中国石油大学的微信公众号。谢谢。好，直播应该快结束了，谢谢你们今天能来这儿听我们讲，谢谢。
development and globalization, the international energy forms and patterns also continue to change. In the face of new challenges, CUPB strives to develop an internationalized vision to seek open innovation, inclusive and mutually beneficial development prospects. To promote and build different exchanges, CUPB set up the Worldwide Energy Universities Network with over 170 universities from USA, Japan, France, the United Kingdom, Canada, etc., and also established the Belt and Road Petroleum Engineers Institute in the same year. CUPB has on average organized 10 international academic conferences annually. In 2017, the school was selected for the One Belt, One Road Beijing Municipality International Student Scholarship Program. The Silk Road Chinese Government Scholarship Program was approved. It was selected as the first batch of Beijing Municipality One Belt, One Road National Talent Training-based project. Through implementation of internationalization strategies and the development of cutting-edge disciplines, such as international energy strategy analysis, the areas and scope of international exchanges and cooperation of universities have been continuously expanded, and the international influence has also been continuously expanded. CUPB is determined to bring together the resources and workforce necessary to lead the talent development for energy economies and achieve the goal of contributing to global development in the petroleum and petrochemical fields of the world's leading research-oriented universities.